Hey everybody, Kate Paine here with Scott Adams from Collier's International in Norfolk, Virginia. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We're happy that this day finally came.
I know. Scott is actually the chairman of the board for the Honor Foundation, of which all of you know I do volunteer work helping people who are in the military transition out of their military career and go into their next mission of a civilian career. And then Scott invited me down here to Richmond and Norfolk to train his team on how to be using LinkedIn. So Scott, what made you kind of think about wanting to get your brokers to be using LinkedIn?
Well, usually our nonprofit activities are separate from our corporate activities. I find that I'm very inspired by the work we do for the Honor Foundation, and I'll talk about that more later, I think. But
Okay.
specifically, when I saw you and what you were doing to help the fellows learn about the power of LinkedIn as it could relate to their career, a light bulb went off that our brokers could really use that depth of training also.
Right.
Most importantly, and this is what clients want to hear, it's the same people working on their transactions or their assignments.
Right.
They hire the people. The brand is important, and LinkedIn will help us build that brand. But I challenge our brokers who you'll be training today, you have a responsibility for your individual brand
Right.
that we want to complement with what we're promoting as a company. But this is a tool for you and your career as well.
That's what I'm always trying to relay to people when I work with them, and whether it's a presentation or a training or a one-to-one, is that you are your brand. Even if you're just a professional working in a company, and the company, whatever type of company, you are still like your brand ambassador for that company. But when you're doing the kinds of things like you are with brokers, for commercial real estate brokers, attorneys, any of those people who have those really deep relationships with their clients, they are their brand.
Yeah.
And if they want to kind of get that across online, LinkedIn's a really good place to be able to do that. And so I did talk to Richmond this morning. I talked about the importance of personal story, like also including a piece of your human side to go along with your professional side and making it relevant so that people can know, like, and trust you. So.
And sometimes I slip on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Facebook or Instagram or other media mechanism person. So when UVA wins the basketball championship, I want to put that on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm supposed to.
Little bits of who you are, putting it out on LinkedIn is a good thing. If you were doing it all the time, probably people on LinkedIn would call you out and go, "Hey, that's for Facebook or Twitter."
Yeah. Well,
but some of that
this is
stuff.
all I've got. So.
Well, sports are one thing because that shows you're devoted to your community and where you live. Posting pictures of what you ate for breakfast and your dog and all that stuff.
I think the Honor Foundation is one that's okay to kind of cross over as well, because it really shows that we're engaged in the community.
Right.
In the Norfolk area, the military is such an important part of who we are.
Exactly.
It's our economic backbone.
Which is where we are today. We're actually, if you can see out the window here, we've got one of the naval ships here that's attached to Nauticus, which is the Naval Museum.
Right.
And
it's the USS Wisconsin.
Is that what that is? I was wondering. It didn't say that on the bow.
No, it doesn't. But it's powerful.
So how did you get involved with the Honor Foundation?
So it started like a lot of activities through my children, to be honest. Going back further, my grandfather was in the Navy, and this is a military community. I had a lot of respect and patriotism.
Right.
That was the foundation of any of service to our military community, is just incredible respect and appreciation. And we know people who risk their lives for all of us.
Right.
But it's never been tangible to know what to do with that. You can support, nonprofits, Wounded Warriors, or Mission United,
which are all important too in their own way.
But there's no personal connection.
Right.
I was blessed through my daughter's travel volleyball to go on a lot of trips and spend a lot of quality time with a number of fathers like myself, and 3 of them on one team were Navy SEALs.
Oh.
They happen to be the most fun to hang out with and have really good stories.
And good senses of humor.
Good senses of humor. But we just created a bond, and it had nothing to do with the Honor Foundation.
Right.
through that, and this will resonate, I think, with you and the work you do, they actually trusted me and they knew me as a person. And one of the unspoken challenges of the work we do at the Honor Foundation that I think you could relate to is they don't engage with people that they don't trust.
That's for sure.
And so I just was a friend. And they don't necessarily have a lot of business friends.
No, they don't.
They have neighbors, they're social people, they know people through their kids.
Right.
But there's not a lot of business relationships. So before long, I was the guy that they would ask about, should I go to business school? How do I go about to find a scholarship? Or my kid needs a job. Or the Navy SEAL Foundation needed a scholarship judge. And you read some of the scholarship applications and just truthfully, they're heartbreaking.
Right.
The challenges that these communities have. So I was hooked on service, and more than that, I also do a lot for education, for business schools.
In this region, or in Virginia?
I went to the Darden School, but I'm on the ODU Business School Board, and I love, higher education and what that could do for people. I love helping people get jobs. Get a lot of resumes, have a lot of cups of coffee. And that's not for the Honor Foundation always, it's just I'm known as someone that helps. And then third, I love the military. So literally the Honor Foundation is a perfect convergence of all three of those. You're helping people get jobs that they wouldn't have found otherwise. That's incredibly rewarding. You're helping them learn new things. Some of them actually go on from the Honor Foundation to graduate school. Some of them go on to get their college degree.
And some of them become entrepreneurs.
Some of them become entrepreneurs, and my wife runs 757 Angels, so they often call me to get to her to talk about how can I start something. We're led incredibly well by Matt Stevens, who's the CEO, 26-year U.S. Navy SEAL.
He was in my very first class on the East Coast cohort that I taught.
And he's doing a great job. He doesn't have as much business experience. He has leadership experience in spades from what he's done. But I think as a business person, I can complement and support him in his role. So I think we have the Navy SEAL in the right place. But I consider it big shoes to help lead an organization supporting Navy SEALs.
Well, thank you for joining me today. Thanks for inviting me down to Virginia. And it's nice to be in warm weather because Vermont's not been so great.
We're glad to have you, and we're anxious to live up to the LinkedIn standards that you teach us today.
All right. Well, thank you. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.